Right now, though, we were interrupted yesterday by the unfortunate news that Robbie Ross had been traded.
Yeah, and so, look, I don't really care. I thought he was pretty half-ass when he was here, and had a nice run there in what seemed to be the second half of
his rookie
2013.
year.
Actually, he had
his
he had
rookie
a
year
couple
was
pretty
really
good
good.
years here.
He did. Okay.
Yeah, it was last year when things fell apart.
But it seemed like he had a half a season that he really was over the top good. And then we expected so much out of him last year.
Lefties could not touch him as a rookie.
No. So, anyway, the main thing is he was one of my favorite people to make fun of because of his giant teeth. And I just assumed that when he spoke, he had this certain way of comporting himself and that he was really farm-centric and he loved, squirrels.
You ever hit your head with a shovel?
Yeah. All of that. And I'm going to miss him. And I know one of my biggest...
You should. You ran him out of town.
One of my biggest supporters in the world in this is our own David Mino.
It's one of my favorite drops. I'm going to miss it.
Yeah, and I just, I don't know what to do. You can't do him anymore. It's just you just can't do it. So, anyway.
Do anything you want.
No, he's gone. It's too difficult. When he would come in and blow a save or whatever, blow a game, then.
Play it when the Red Sox come to town.
Well, that's true. That's true. We have a couple opportunities every year. But David, our buddy, put together this little Robbie Ross tribute as he makes his way to the East Coast. And I'll tell you what we're going to do.
What?
We are going to play it right here live.
On the Ticket.
Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket.
And I'm like, I don't know if I want to go to prom this year. I mean, I'm only a junior. We were cleaning shotgun one time, and I blew my grandma's head off. I've had 4 water chickens. Nobody does it half as good as you. You like beef jerky? Baby, we're in the major leagues. I wasn't looking, but somehow you found me. You ever seen a real booger?
A real booger.
A real one, yes.
I got a giant Jesus on my forearm.
His tattoo.
You ever husk a corn before? You ever hit your head with a shovel?
Why would he do that?
Yeah. Like 1,000,000 miles an hour.
What?
I killed a squirrel in Georgia. You know who I met today? Russell Wilson. Quarterback. Bad throw. Fired it right wide of first base. You. Animal weighs a whole lot. Animal. You ever had a squirrel sandwich? Look, I can fly. I'm going to take a zip line from the bullpen all the way out to the pitcher's mound. Got my fastball back. Nobody does it half as good as you. I was on my daddy's tractor like 2.5 years ago. Swear to God, man. We saw this bull weevil down there. I'm like, man, are we going to kill that thing? And we went over there and hit that thing, and then my granddad came out, and he's like, don't do that again.
I would just rather hear all of the laughs strung together in one big Robbie Ross laugh.
I want to miss Robbie.
God.
I am going to miss that.
You going to miss that impression, Mike?
No.
Yeah, you are.
No,
I'm
yes,
not.
you are.
No, I'm not, because you ran him out of town.
You think that really played into the Rangers' plans?
He could never succeed here because of you.
He demanded the trade.
Well, good
Yeah,
luck.
he probably did.
Good luck up there. I hope somebody.
Right now, before we get to the Ranch Report with Todd Archer, what we want to do is visit with the fellow who's doing traffic with us this week. Now, you all know him. He's been on here numerous times before. Always interesting to visit with the great Doyle King.
That's right.
Hi, Doyle.
Thank you, Mike.
How's it going?
That guy named Snake.
Yeah.
That Snake fella.
All right, so Doyle walks in the other day, wishes us all a Happy New Year,
Yeah.
which we reciprocate.
Happy New Year to you too, Doyle.
Yes.
we,
Happy New Year.
we reciprocate, and he goes, "What'd you do on New Year's Eve?" Well, I didn't do anything. What'd you do, Doyle? I got married. And I was like, "What?" I thought you already were married. Well, I was, kind of. And I was like, "Stop right there.
Kinda.
Stop right there. I don't want to know another damn thing. We're going to hash this out over the air."
Not only did we stop him down then, we made this proprietary to our show.
Right.
Yes.
So Doyle, now, I don't know why we first got you on the air. Was it your crack
I'm Doyle King.
admission? Is that what it was?
I think it had to do with the interview from the morning show.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
The Musers got him on. I don't think they had any idea who Doyle was. Of course, now I do, but they didn't, and they...
You know, they stole that. They heard that you wanted to have me on, and they usurped you.
Yeah, and we made sure that didn't happen this time.
Yes, you did. I like you guys better anyway.
Thank you.
But Doyle and I, you know,
Lord.
Oh, well, I do.
We're better people.
Yeah.
Flat out.
Yeah,
Just
right
better
on.
guys.
You're real.
Yeah, we are.
anyway, they had him on first, and we got him on, and on we go.
We fell in love with him.
Yeah. I mean, just about every time he's been in here for a few days, we always get him in here just to see what's going on.
He's our own little crack pipe.
But I must say, Doyle, you outdid yourself. You caused a major stop down in here with your New Year's Eve exploits. So would you like to fill in the blanks a little bit?
Sure. Let's go back about 22 years
Okay.
ago, or so, because that's when my wife and I got married
Right.
the first time down
Right.
at Poor David's Pub, Rusty Weir concert. That
Right.
was fun.
Were you on acid or something?
No,
Okay.
not that night.
Okay.
Ask me about when we went to the Irish Festival at Fair Park though sometime. Okay.
Okay.
So 22 years ago, fired from Q102.
Sure.
Well, that's another story. But at any rate, I'd had an accident in my truck after my first wife and I had separated. My insurance was paid up through the year. She cancels my insurance. I have a wreck, and I've got no truck. I got a lawsuit filed on me. You know, they suspended my driver's license because I couldn't pay, because I wasn't working, didn't have a driver's license, had to get a driver's license. So I go down and I get a fake driver's license so I can drive a truck.
Right.
And that's the driver's license, the only one that I had, a form of ID that we used for our original marriage certificate to get our marriage license. So that's what we got married under.
You got married with a fake ID?
Yes.
Would you go to Vicon Village and said you were from Oklahoma?
Well, it was actually a real driver's license, but it was a fake name.
You had a fake name?
Yes.
Would you use somebody else's birth certificate?
Yeah.
Who were you? Like
done that.
Otis Birdsong or something?
I might not should say.
Come on.
I'd rather you didn't.
Okay.
Did you ever
Okay.
see a guy with a fake head?
So my wife and I are married, and it was my dad's certificate.
Oh, okay.
You know, we just changed the date
Yeah.
and stuff, you know. But anyway, so we got married under the fake driver's license. It's our 20-year reunion on New Year's Eve, and we want to get married. So we go down to the courthouse, and we get another marriage license, and the lady behind the counter steps out from behind the counter and asks me, "You got married with a fake? You presented false documents to get your marriage license?" And I'm going, uh-oh.
You told him this? You said, look, we had a little ruse going 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's why
You're making small talk and all
Hey,
that.
it's 20 years ago.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Wasn't like you were the Unabomber.
She grabs me by the arm and says, "You need to come with me." And I went, oops. Oh, shoot. But she said, I'm just kidding.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So now on to the marriage. My daughter and my son have planned a big deal. They've set up the garage. They've hung Christmas lights all over. They've built a bar. You know, they know how I love to drink.
Sure.
And how my wife loves to drink. So we get there about 10:30 or so after eating at Bob's.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was great. They got great food there, man.
Yeah.
I love it. So I'm stuffed to the gills. Brr. Brr. Beef. It's what's for dinner. So we get there about 10:30 or so, and Jeremy steps behind the bar, a friend of ours, and he pours tequila shots. Mm-hmm. So my wife has one. I'm not drinking tequila. My stomach won't let me.
Sure.
Besides that, I'm full as a tick, man. She has a shot. She has another shot. You know, we get ready for the marriage. We have the ceremony there. We get remarried legally this time under real names. And
in your garage.
And, in my son's garage. Mm-hmm. And we have another shot of tequila. My wife does. My daughter's there, and she's pouring. And then we have another shot of tequila.
Now, how old are you and your wife right now?
No, we're this is last New Year's Eve.
I know. I'm asking you, how old are you now?
53.
And she's
54.
same age?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So I tug on her and I say, "Hun, I think that's probably enough. 4 shots. She doesn't drink.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. So Teresa's over there, my daughter. She's pouring shots every 15 minutes, man. So Connie has another shot, and I'm seeing my honeymoon go down the drain at this point.
Yeah.
I can tell that if she has another drink or two, there's no freaking way I'm going to get lucky. It's our honeymoon.
Where's your honeymoon going to take place?
We're at our house.
Okay.
We weren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
I had a big trip to San Antonio planned.
Oh.
But she suggested that we get remarried legally. And I said, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Renew our vows and everything. So she has yet another shot. Like I say, every 15 minutes, Teresa is pouring another drink.
For a woman who does not drink.
Right. Now we're up to about 7 drinks.
Whoa!
It's 2:00 in the morning or so, and one for the road.
Oh, no.
Fine. I mean, there's no way that I'm going to get taken care of.
Yeah.
None. I just, writing is on the wall.
Right.
So she has another one. We step out front, make a circle, have a smoke, head home. We're on I-20 coming from Mansfield back to Grand Prairie. Along about Carrier Parkway, she starts tapping on my leg. If I tell you, you need to pull over.
Oh, no.
Damn it! So she taps a little bit more. I don't get pulled over. We get to Beltline. We're about a block from the house, and I take off. And she goes, oh. Pull up into the driveway. She gets the door open and stands there and begins to puke.
Success. That's the whole point, right?
And she pukes.
Right.
And pukes. And I unload the truck, and I've gone over. Can I get you anything?
She's sitting on the driveway puking.
No, she's standing, holding the truck door, holding her up. Just standing there puking. I'm going, oh, honey. Yeah. I unload all the stuff from the truck, wedding presents and everything, get them in. She's still standing out there. I grab hold of her and say, can you make it in the house? Come on, let's go in the house.
You didn't think that this may be your only chance, of her being conscious, maybe use her pants down or something?
Good Lord.
Have you ever done that? With a puking girl? Oh, snake. Oh. Anyway, we get into the house, and she stands over the toilet for about 30 minutes, and I get her a wet washcloth and all of that, and try to get her cleaned up some. She's got puke all over her pantyhose, all over her shoes. You gotta get her, get her undressed. Then she sits down.
On the pot?
On the pot. With the trash can in front of her. and continues to puke.
Good God.
This goes on for about 2.5 hours.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't drink. Man, she probably had 10 shots of tequila in 2.5 hours.
That's bad.
So,
I can't even do that, Doyle.
I didn't even try. I had a couple of glasses of champagne. I was trying to stay lucid and have show her a wonderful honeymoon.
Right.
You know? And she's in there.
What came up first, the carrot or the ribeye?
Oh, God. There were carrots in the driveway, man, when I had to wash them down the next day.
Oh, yeah. Gross.
And she said when I got down to the rice, that's what she had for lunch.
Oh, God.
She knew it was going to be bad. Oh. But anyway, she's sitting there, hands in her, your head in her hands, going, oh, God, why did I do this? I should have listened to you. So I help her into bed, take the trash can over there with her, and finally she lays down and passes out.
And that's when you have fun. Right?
That's what you do, Dan. Ooh. Oh, dead fish.
So I bet she woke up with a wonderful feeling in her head, didn't she?
Oh, it took her a couple of days to get over this. It really did. But that was my wonderful honeymoon and my 20-year marriage.
Wow, Doyle. I'm sorry that didn't go any better for you.
Yeah, I know, man. I think
she owes you one.
I think it was on our 10th anniversary that I pulled one of those. It might have been the 5th. We went back to see Rusty Weir at a show he was doing outside of Austin, and he and I shared a bottle of tequila on stage in between sets, and we ended up at this sleazebag motel because I wouldn't pay the price. You know, I went to the 1995 place, and we were on the bottom floor. Somebody's playing with a ball and a dog upstairs and selling crack.
Yeah, they tend to stay up all night in those
This is post-crack Doyle, right?
Yeah. And all night long. Thump, 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 up the stairs. You hear the ball. Thump, thump, thump. Blah, 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 goes the dog. Brings the ball back. And then somebody else goes upstairs and downstairs. We ended up pulling out of the place about 5 in the morning coming home. But it was one of those nights. Anyway, so there was my happy anniversary and New Year's Eve, 2009.
That's quite a story.
Tell it again.
Well done, Doyle. Well done.
I'm sorry it didn't go any better for you, but I trust everything's all right now.
I was too.
Now, have you gotten lucky? Have you told her you wanted to celebrate and you gotten lucky?
Oh,
yet?
well, yeah. You know, I gave her a couple of days to recuperate.
Right.
We had a good old time.
Okay.
We still got it. We still got it.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Because I don't.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I'm sorry, man. How long have you been married?
Oh, it's nothing to do with the marriage. It's just me. I'm impotent.
That's too bad.
You need to do what Quagmire did to your ding-dong.
Let's just talk. Oh!
We've already tried that once on this show, and it didn't work.
Gotta go.
All right, Doyle. I'm sorry things didn't work out better, but it sounds like in the end it all did. So
Thanks, Rod.
that's good, man. Thanks, pal. We appreciate you. All right. That is a Doyle King minute there. We'll have a Todd Archer minute with the Ranch Report next. The story of what happened to Bob Costas is coming out. It kind of popped up in a weird way, like right around the Super Bowl, because they started making it known that he was not going to be a part of their broadcast. NBC did.
Last year.
Last year, I'm sorry. No, not this year, last year. And I guess it was, right around this Super Bowl, we started to learn why that was. But it was really weird because they made it known, just kind of, hey, just in case you guys are interested, Bob Costas is not going to have anything to do with this. And now we're finding out why. ESPN has sicked Mark Fainaru-Wada on this.
You know it's serious.
Yeah, and when you see that byline on something, they ain't fronting no games.
And it's going to be long article.
Yes. It's going to be long article. It's
You're
going to be
welcome.
It's going to be serious article. It's going to be no nonsense article, and it's going to be 100% worth the time.
This is the article that makes your legs fall asleep.
I did send it to Danny, and I said, long article, I'm sorry. It's good, though, man. It's really good, and, the end game of it all is this. No matter what you think of Bob Costas, I personally think Bob Costas is the voice of my entire sports life. I can pretty much trace any big sports moment back to Bob Costas, calling it from the time that I was about 12 years old all the way through today. He's always been a fixture and a part of my life in the near 50 years that I've been on this planet. And
he's been a fixture and a part of mine for the better part of it, too.
And not only has he provided that voice, he's done it in a way that is unparalleled in the business. He is so good. He's so eloquent. He's such a natural. He's so smart. He's got such a passion for everything, especially baseball, but he just, to me, epitomizes what a broadcaster is supposed to be.
He's
at that level.
On the Mount Rushmore, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
One of my real highs here in this game at this radio station was probably about, 3-4 years in or something like that. We were, I think, at Cowboys training camp down in Austin or Wichita Falls or one of those awful places that they used to have him at, and he was there. And we got him to come on with us. And we were doing the show from like a trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe this wasn't Cowboys training camp. It might have been something else. But
I think it was. It was in Austin.
But okay, yeah. Then, yeah, we were doing the show from like a trailer. And we got him to come on with us. And he was just tremendous. I mean, he didn't talk down. I mean, we were just a little pissant local radio operation. He had no reason to come on there and treat us with any kind of regard whatsoever, but he did.
And had fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome. He was just great. Not that I needed any bringing around on the guy at that time, but that made me fan forever.
Well, as much as we think of him, and as much as he is on that Mount Rushmore of all-time broadcasters, and no matter how much power he had and how much respect he had within the business, it took about a 19th of a second for the NFL to snap his neck into 50 places and say, get the hell out of here. And that shows you the power of the NFL.
Yup.
And it's sickening when you read this, but it doesn't. None of it surprises me, and I don't blame the NFL, and I don't blame NBC, because what's at stake, really, if you want to look at it from a rational standpoint, what was at stake here was a network.
Mm-hmm.
Because as they lay out in this piece, if you're not attached to football, you don't have a network.
Yeah. Nobody did anything wrong here. And what we're talking about, what happened here, is the story came out that the reason that he was not a part of the Super Bowl last year was because he had started talking too much about concussions for the NFL's liking on the heels of that movie that came out, of the concussion movie, of which the aforementioned Mark Fainaru-Wada was a huge part. He and his brother did the research for the thing and wrote the book.
It's so weird, but it's the exact same plot line as the 60 Minutes investigation on cigarettes that eventually turned the cigarette industry and the lobbyists upside down, and the one with Russell Crowe in it. What was it called? Forget. But whatever the case, it was basically you had people, whistleblowing on the cigarette industry like, hey, by the way, cigarettes are bad.
Yeah.
And then they bucked back a little bit, and, it became this huge story. And here, ever since, Costas has been talking about concussions.
The Insider.
Yeah, the Insider. He's been talking about concussions. He's been talking about the link between football and concussions for a long time. This didn't start when the movie Concussion came out.
No.
He's been doing this for going on a decade, and he's been very outspoken about it, about the link between the two, and about how this sport has turned into it's the ultimate in it's so barbaric, and
the end game is that it's affecting people's brains. And, again, he started doing this a decade ago, and then when the movie came out in 2015, he didn't go public with this, but he wanted part of his Sunday night football rant. And if you don't know, Costas, every single Sunday night, he would have a little 2-minute, 3-minute essay on the state of the game, something that was picking at him, not them picking at him.
Yes, he would editorialize.
And he would write these things, and this I didn't know this either, but the genius of Costas is kind of revealed in here. You think that somebody who has to go in front of 25 million people and prepare a 2 or 3 minute essay is going to be working on it all week long, which normal human beings would do. He would do it in the first quarter. He would just start writing his stuff down in the first quarter of what was kind of picking at him, and then he would look at the camera and have it all down.
But wasn't he required to run those essays by his bosses?
He was not.
Okay.
He never was. But he decided when he was going to talk about concussions that he would run it past his bosses then. And he said out of respect for them, because he knew what a hot button it was, he was going to send them exactly what he was going to say in this little 2 or 3 minute essay. And as he says, I'll never forget their response. And their response was, it's perfect. Don't even change a comma, but we can't air it. And from that moment on, it was like the spotlight was on him.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he was having trouble sleeping at night because he was not able to say anything, that he said this was one of the biggest problems, the biggest issues in all of sport, and they rendered him basically...
They neutered him.
Completely neutered. And so he went to this journalism symposium at the University of Maryland, and when he was... I guess this symposium was being filmed, and the video went viral, and he started within this, he talked about the link between CTE and the NFL, and went on and on and on and on. And then that video went viral, and he decided, you know what, I need to nip this in the bud and say that this is not an NBC thing or an NFL thing. I need to go on CNN, and I need to explain myself and say, look, this is not something that my network believes in. This is only me. And so then he goes to CNN, and that doubles down. The NFL's like, he keeps talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Then he decides to do it one more time. I can't remember what it was on. But anyway, it was 3 times in 3 weeks that he went
rogue.
He went rogue and started talking about this. And finally, the NFL went to NBC and said, you know what? You want to air our game? Guess who's not going to be a part of it? That guy. The guy that has meant the world to your network, to sports in general. Get him out of here because he's too hot to handle, and we don't want anything taken away from what is our grandest spectacle. And we don't want this guy at halftime or any other time bringing up anything concerning CTE and the link between CTE and professional football. And NBC said, sorry, man. Because also they were in negotiations for the Thursday night football contest. Right. And that was really the biggest thing, is that they wanted a piece of that pie. And they couldn't have NBC or the NFL going, well, yeah, we'd love for you guys to do it, but what about that dude? You know, that Bob guy. That old guy that you got hired over there. And
yeah, the guy that's been with your network for 40 years.
They knew that that was just the type of leverage that the NFL would use against them unless they just said, Bob, you're done. You're gone. And the NFL basically took out Bob Costas.
You know, when you look at this, nobody did anything wrong here.
Right.
You know, Bob Costas was following his own repertorial consciousness and saying what he thought needed to be said, airing what he thought needed to be aired. The network let him do it, but they and he have to be mindful of the fact that there's somebody above them that may not like this.
Well, he had so soured on football anyway. I don't think this was that big of a deal to him.
I don't think it was. I'm just saying that, you know, there's nobody to blame here. No. I mean, if you're looking to play the blame game in this situation, there's none there to be played because everybody acted within the parameters in which they have a right to.
I guarantee you the people at the top of NBC, they're ashamed of themselves, and they probably had trouble sleeping at night because they had to kowtow to the big bad beast. They know what's right.
Of course they do. Now, my question is, couldn't you have just taken him off of anything NFL related and kept him on for all of your other stuff? Or is it just too, what's the point?
Honestly, I think at that point he thought, I'm out of here. Forget this.
Yeah, he probably said, screw it.
And I think, like you said, he's so down on football right now. And the line that got him in the most trouble was that Maryland symposium that said, the reality is this: the game destroys people's brains. Not everyone's, but a substantial number. It's not a small number. It's a considerable number. It destroys their brains.
Or maybe the NFL went to them and said, look, if you don't get him off of your air altogether, then we're taking our toys elsewhere.
Yeah.
You won't have football.
Right.
And you need football.
Yeah,
Yes,
you need football.
You need football.
I mean, think about it. The football is so powerful, they survived. Not only did they survive, they have thrived since the most powerful human being on the planet tried to take them down. The president.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to take the league down.
Yeah.
And he failed.
Well,
And
I mean,
nothing can touch this league. And so when you're just this cog, part of a broadcasting cog, and you don't fall in line,
regardless of your legend status,
you're gone.
I mean, look at over the last, I don't know, since whenever it was that Fox came online and CBS said, well, we're not going to pay that. We're not going to pay what they're paying for football. Let them have it, man. Since then, we have seen two networks go without football for a significant period of time.
And it ruined them.
Yeah, and they both came crawling back.
Yep. It's really one of the most confusing, confounding things that I can remember concerning any of our local stadiums throughout the years. And, you know, for the longest time, the only stadium in town that we had was, well, we had two, I guess. Obviously, Cowboy Stadium or Texas Stadium was built around the same time that the Ranger franchise came into existence. And then, as we mentioned earlier in the day, that just kind of started the whole erector set vibe or idea that the city of Arlington had as far as adding on to Ranger Stadium.
Yeah.
It really was never a new stadium or anything.
It was added on to a few times over the years, but as far as being new, it wasn't even new when they moved in there.
I don't recall at any point did Arlington Stadium ever somehow construct some type of luxury suite situation?
No. That was before all that.
Yeah, I think it did too.
There were suites?
Like boxes, like private suites?
I think there were.
There were?
Yeah.
I thought that was before that became even a thing. I mean, they built the upper deck, and that was the biggest thing that they did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there were some suites out there too.
And I don't remember.
Like running along the baseline?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't recall.
I guess
that.
I would have never been in a position to go to any of those suites. And you're sure about that? They had suites there?
I believe it. I would bet on that, yeah.
Okay. But
Let's
I don't
call Chuck Morgan. He'll know.
I don't ever remember
he's listening.
People bitching.
We'll know in a matter of minutes.
Good.
Like within the construct of Texas Stadium, maybe outside of getting there and traffic, I don't remember people saying much about it. You know, the Rangers Stadium.
You didn't know any better.
You didn't. And the Rangers Stadium at the time, I certainly didn't know any better as a kid. It was there. You drove to it. It took 15 minutes, and I went to the game, and I didn't think about it. Till I went to another stadium and was like, oh.
You guys have this?
Wow, my stadium is the biggest piece of junk in the world. But you didn't think about it. Reunion Arena opens up, and it was magical. And, you know, even before the American Airlines Center was built, it was kind of like the ballpark it is now, the Temple is now. I loved Reunion Arena, and, you know,
loved it.
The reason that they wanted that thing to come down was the aforementioned luxury suites.
I'll even say, pound for pound, Reunion Arena is the best stadium arena this area has ever had.
It may be, especially with the romanticized vibe and affair that it had with the fans, because it was the loudest place, the loudest arena on the planet.
Well, I mean, for most of us, that was where we all grew up watching the game of professional basketball. That's where we grew up watching the game of hockey. and you're kind of drawn to those places.
Sure.
Well, it also is one of the it most effectively served its dual purpose better than any other arena that I've been into, because concerts sounded incredible there.
They really did. They
And
were
I've
really
never
good.
had a concert sound good next door.
I don't know what it was about that place.
I don't either, but it was amazing.
It was.
That one and Tarrant County, both of those old school 80s arenas were fantastic for sound.
But you don't see a lot of complaining next door about, I went to the game and this was what was wrong within the arena. You don't hear a lot about I'm fine with the American Airlines Center. I've never had an issue with it going to a game at all. I think it's been...
No, it's fine. I've gotten used to it. It's not as intimate.
No.
You're not as on top of the action. It's too big.
There'll never be another building like Reunion.
No, there won't.
It's too small.
But I'm fine with it for sports, but anytime there's a band that I really want to see and I have to go there to see a concert, I never leave going, man, the sound was perfect.
No, you'll never have that. And then out at the new Cowboys Stadium, at AT&T Stadium, there's a million things that people bitch about. It seems like every time they go out there for whatever reason, whether it's the parking or the fact that you can't walk around the stadium, you're kind of quarantined in your own little area.
Mm-hmm.
The number one thing, though, that people bitch about more than anything else, though, is the sunlight. And really, that's because it doesn't affect you as much as it affects the actual people playing the sport. And that's the weirdest part about it, is that you can bitch and moan all you want about things within certain arenas, but typically that's just fan bitching. Oh man, that Coke costs $3.85. Can you imagine that? You complain about little things here and there, but it's never about the players having to deal with things. And as we know, with the sunlight, depending on how many games they play at a certain time of the day, it affects every one of them.
It's the 3:00 game, correct?
Yes, it's the late sunset games. And it's been going on since that thing opened up, and nobody can figure out why. And Jerry says that, that was part of the master plan. He always uses that phrase.
I don't believe him. I think it was a mistake.
That it was all about things that were going to be built up around it. Isn't that right, Ty?
Well, I was just going to say, like Danny said, I think it was a huge mistake. And at this point, Jerry is so dug in, he's going to stick with that and not put any curtains up or anything, because this is the way he wanted it.
Right.
Which makes 0 sense.
So the curtains have been up.
Jerry.
I think the curtains have been up twice. And one time they went up for the NFL draft last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's because the NFL came in.
Yeah.
And once the NFL takes over, like they do with any stadium for the Super Bowl, that's theirs. That ceases to be yours the minute that they get a hold of that. It's almost like the USGA coming out and they say, all right, yeah, you can play the U.S. Open. Or we want to play the U.S. Open at your course. And course is like, yeah, that'd be great, man. And they're like, we'll be there in 10 minutes. And from that moment on, it's theirs. And they do what they want with it.
Or sort of like Bud Light taking over the American Hotel.
Yes. Yeah, in Atlanta. It changed. Boy, that's a great example, because that hotel went from a little kind of mom and poppy hotel into this corporate beacon.
Yes, it was the Bud Light Hotel.
And everything you saw inside from one day to the next, once they took it over, was all Bud Light.
Yes.
Everything.
All the pictures of the Cold War came down and up went Bud Light stuff.
Yes, and there's Bud Light.
And they got rid of all the corn syrup.
Exactly. Well, anyway, I think they did it for the NFL draft, and then maybe one other. I remember some other thing that it was certainly one for a football game. Well, now up at U.S. Bank, which is the kind of the clone up in Minneapolis of AT&T Stadium, maybe it was for the Final Four. I think that's what it was. When AT&T Stadium had curtains up, I believe that was the other time. Well, now U.S. Bank says that ahead of the 2019 Final Four, they are spending $4.6 million in heavy gray curtains. They're being installed as a, quote, darkening solution.
Okay. A darkening solution.
That sounds like something that the Dallas City Council was worried about in 1964.
My God.
I'm not joking.
It's just harsh to hear.
Yeah. But So they're spending $4.6 million. And here is what their stadium manager, again, I don't know if U.S. Bank is like Cowboys Stadium or AT&T Stadium where it's Jerry Jones and Jerry Jones and Jerry Jones, or if U.S. Bank is some sort of separate city entity.
I would imagine it's set up just the same way, that the Vikings and whoever else might have gone in on it own the stadium, and U.S. Bank is the title sponsor.
They say that...
Or the naming rights holder, not the title sponsor, the naming rights holder.
They say that we have to take our biggest asset away, which is the natural light. And they're fine with that. They say it's a good thing, saying this puts us in a great marketing position in getting us ready to sell and host larger events or other events.
I'm seeing it is the Minnesota Sports Facilities Authority that owns it officially.
That's weird. There's a lot of prestige worldwide in that.
Boy, there is.
I mean, that's probably some arm of the Vikings in some way.
Probably so. But they are doing it, and I don't think that they've had the issues that the Cowboys have had just because of the way that thing is done.
Yeah.
Or situated as far as the sun goes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, when you see stories like this and it's like, yeah, of course, we'll do this. We'll sacrifice what we feel is our biggest asset to ensure that we get future events, to ensure that our fans have a better time or whatever the case may be.
And the difference being is they're doing it to mask an asset. We would be doing it to mask a hindrance.
Right. So, and it
would only be for the 3:00 games.
And it's not like it's just if it would just affect, let's say that sun was shining into section 102 and there's 500 people in that section that are blinded from 4 to 4:45
that are paying $2,000 a ticket for season tickets for that game.
I can see Jerry saying, "Hey, it's just part of it, bud. Sorry about that." But it's not them; it's the players.
And there's no advantage because you got to go both ways.
Right. And he's still dug in.
And if he did install these, I mean, that's a great idea, thick blackout curtains like that. You know what they would do? They would improve the acoustics in that room for concerts as well, just to have them ready for if there's a band, then you pull those things down because the biggest assassin of good acoustics is glass and steel.
It's funny you mention that because it says in addition to the Final Four, the curtains will be used for all upcoming concerts as a means to improve acoustics.
Thank you.
And if there is a stadium in the world that sounds worse than AT&T Stadium,
I've yet to be in it
ever. And it's not even just concerts. It's the acoustics within that stadium when you're sitting in there for a game.
You got a multi-million-dollar sound system in there, and somebody makes an announcement. It's
we were there for that Seattle game, the playoff game, and seriously, that's what it sounded like when they had the 80,000-foot big screen and a presentation going on. It's like, hey, you know what's going on? That's and you're just staring at it like, okay, whatever.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It is terrible. But
we're stuck with it.
Yep, it's the way they want it. It's their toy. What are you going to do?
We have become all too familiar,
God,
Danny, with a little bit called,
I don't know,
Me Pig. Me Puig.
I've never seen anything go, I don't want to say viral, but viral within our ticket community.
Yeah.
With less substance. Maybe regonk, but at least regonk's funny.
This is pretty damn funny.
My pig's pretty funny, man.
People are my pigging everybody now. There's memes of my pig.
Yeah, because it's funny.
I have a pig in my house that says my pig on it.
We saw a cartoon at Ticket Stock based on your pig.
They gave away free pigs at some Ticket Stock booth.
As they should.
So anyway.
It's got its own thing.
Back to you.
So if you aren't familiar with it, here is the version that you all know and love.
My pig found itself smart enough to hop over the the barrier from his pen to the next pen and eat all of that pig's food, then go to the next one and eat all of that pig's food, and then the next one and eat all of that pig's food, and make his way back in time for when it was my time to feed him. He had already eaten 3 meals and was just sitting there waiting for me, and I would feed him, and he would eat that. That's why he gained so much weight and got sifted at the Fat Stock Show. Okay, so first of all, just the wobbly, drunk cadence of the way I tell a story, combined with the fact that it sounds like an out-of-breath 6-year-old trying to tell you about something that happened at school that day. I couldn't have economized and said, well, he jumped over 3 pins and ate all of the food and then came back and he was fat. No, and then he went to the pin food, and then he ate the pin and ate all that pin food, and then went to another pin and ate all that pin food.
It is
sound
very
like
first
a
grader.
flipping moron.
That's part of the charm of it.
God.
It's awesome.
I am an adult, full-grown man.
You are.
I've accomplished a lot in this life. And now it's this. It's reduced to the rubble of my pig.
I feel, though, that when we all pass, that there will be that knowing nod, like when you do go, and whatever time it is, that when people are discussing Danny Bayless, that, yeah, that we all will have our thing. You know?
I went to TCU.
Oh, jeez.
And I don't know if this has superseded or trumped Flask.
Dude, it's close.
It's real close.
Yeah, it's very close.
I've got a flask in my car if
Wobbly.
you guys want to join me for an after-hours drink.
Well, there's a reason
Man,
that was
I
wobbly.
think this has superseded it.
I do, too. I think my pig is bigger.
It's just fresher.
Maybe so, but I don't know. It seems to have more legs out there among the masses than Flask did.
That went a long
and make
way.
no mistake, Flask was strong.
As people would approach you no matter where you were to tell you that they do have a flask in their car.
And it removes the spinal fluid from my body. Just my pig does just as much as Flask did.
Right.
Where you're out at a bar or you're at Albertsons. Hey, Dingo, where's your pig? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I haven't seen him.
Well, anyway, the story was actually told well before this incarnation. Now, I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, this was not the first time we'd heard this.
I don't remember this at all. I just remember that telling of the story.
No.
And again, we've been doing this for 20 years, and so we tend to repeat things every now and then. But at the same time, something that iconic, maybe it's the fact that it's been replayed 50 million times, but I feel like I would remember it. But this story was actually told in 2001?
In a real economic, succinct manner. Yes. This was probably about 14 years ago. Our guess is around 2004.
Yeah, the unticket says September 29th of 2004.
How did you come to get this?
A P1 KJ Fairbrother is his name on Twitter. Tweeted me last week. Said, hey, here's the first time Danny talks about his pig, and it's a link to the unticket.
But why did they have that? Was it did we crack up? Again, I've not heard this. I want to kind of be surprised.
The segment really has nothing to do with Danny's pig at all. You were talking about somebody pranked you or something, and they put tiny cobra heads on your tire air valves. Yeah, your stems. And I guess before that, Mike was talking about. Gosh, what was he? What was
we
he
were talking about? Okay, so we had seen Walk the Line.
Yes.
I guess the
Johnny Cash,
fake Johnny, or I guess the real Johnny Cash movie. Yeah, and
that's Walk Hard.
Yeah, Walk Hard is what I was thinking of. And we had talked, I guess, the previous day about how his brother died, and there was, I guess, something up for debate, and Mike was clarifying what it was, and I guess talking about farms and working on farms. Segued into FFA talk, and then Hammer raised an animal, and I raised an animal, and then I guess we got to the business at hand. But this was the first time I ever told the story about my pig, and listen for the way I used my pig.
Okay, so before we get to this, you're going to hear a voice. And like last week,
we're doing this?
You have to, dude. Like last week, we were at a remote, and a guy walked up and goes, hey, man, I just at Fan and Tree Farm. Walked over to us. I can't think of Fan and Tree Farm without singing the song now.
Fan and Tree Farm, bo bo. Fan and Tree Farm, bo
going.
We're all pruning.
Yeah, there's a good one. So anyway, a guy walked up and he goes, "Hey, I just started listening to you guys last month." Wow, there are people last
That are
month,
just now jumping in on
a month ago.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, there was
Reset.
there was a dude that worked on the show for a decade plus, 12 years, that has been gone now for
almost 11.
11 years. His name is The Hammer.
Absolutely, you bitch.
So for those who haven't been listening for a long, long time, this is the voice that you're going to hear. He doesn't work on the show anymore, but that's another story. But that's that other voice. All right.
Thanks.
See, I was right.
Aggro Mike.
I know my aggro.
Will you wear your FFA jacket to work tomorrow?
I sure will. I was a member of that.
Cursive embroidered Mike.
Pause
on the
that.
front.
Cattle.
God, your voice sounds deep.
Yeah, there's something wrong with this tape. Either that or I didn't get
Yeah,
to sleep.
probably the fact that it's about 40 years old.
Well, yeah, but God.
Usually your voice gets deeper as you get older.
Like mine sounds to me significantly higher.
It is.
Yours, as though, is like you sound like Andre the Giant.
Could have been a rough day. You never know. In 2004, good Lord. That was post-divorce. I might have been going on 3 days, no sleep.
Okay, go on.
Will you wear your FFA jacket to work tomorrow?
I sure will. I was a member of that.
Cursive embroidered Mike on the
Didn't you show
front.
cattle and pigs and hogs?
Yeah,
Well, then
showed
you're into that a little bit. Then you had to know about.
Yeah, you had to know about shredders, didn't you?
Never heard of that. I've heard of a thrasher.
You never,
I've never heard of it.
You never driven the tractor and pulled a shredder?
I didn't drive many tractors. I mean, I can because there's nothing out there that I can't drive. Nothing.
I castrated a pig
Right.
once.
Oh, I did that.
Mm-hmm. My pig.
What was his name?
Sniglet.
Stop right there.
My pig.
My pig.
My pig.
God.
Boy, what a difference between the two my pigs.
The other one is so excited. This one is my pig.
My pig.
My pig.
God.
14 years apart.
What is wrong with
I
you?
don't know.
You've got to be so hungover.
Maybe. It's possible.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I did that.
Mm-hmm. My pig.
What was his name?
Sniglet.
That's a made-up
Yeah.
name that you just made up.
No, it's not. Swear.
What was yours?
What?
Your pig? Didn't you show a pig?
Cow. A cat.
Calf. Did you have a name for it, or what was it?
Cody.
I brought my pig to the Fort Worth Stock Show and it got sifted because it weighed too much, so I didn't get to show it.
What does sift
It
mean?
means they
What
just
is
cull it.
sifted?
It means they
Throw it out?
Yeah, they throw it out. Then you can sell it per pound and make
A lot
money.
of people don't want to buy the sifted stuff, though.
My pig was big.
Did you keep it or did you sell it?
I sold it.
God, how do you do that?
They cut his head off and made pork out of him.
God.
I needed the money, dude. I was like a sophomore
What'd you
in high
sell it
school.
for?
That was like $250.
Oh, that's a lot.
Which generally barely covers
Cha-ching.
your feed bill.
Right. I think I made about $67.
It's all right. Not bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was it. That was your telling of my pig.
We moved on to an entirely different new topic. Boy, I sound laid back.
My pig.
You really do.
Hey, man, this radio thing, no big deal.
I'm so good at this.
My pig.
What was his name?
Sounds like me at the zoo.
Yeah. Hey, man.
My pig.
Sniglet.
My pig.
My pig.
God, that's like 8 octaves, dude.
It's weird.
It is.
I don't know why my voice has gotten higher. It should be lower.
It is. I'm telling you. Like, we have other audio of you from back then where it's
I know.
definitely higher. That
was a rough day.
Either that or you were sick. You had a cold or something like that, which I would like to think that's the case, but probably it's the former. It's probably the...
It's trouble.
Yeah. It's nothing good.
It's trouble.
All right, so...
It's perfectly in keeping with the way things go, though.
So, our little buddy Cray Trey, who made his name at this radio station by, we set up a porter station in the bathroom right here on the 4th floor of Cumulus International. We put Trey in a suit or a tux. We got him a tux.
Tux.
A suit. Put him in a tux, and I went and bought all this gum and cologne and candy and cigarettes and condoms, and we set it all out there on the bathroom. And we basically, we were treating it like this was some sort of high-end steakhouse, strip club, whatever, where they have bathroom porters, just to see how it went over. And you know what? It went over quite well.
It was pretty convenient.
People really enjoyed the porter service. Mm-hmm. So... And Trey kind of made a name for himself. We had, he was rolling on everybody walking in there, and he was telling, nifty stories and asking questions about people's day
he was
and everything.
Making small talk and everything, just like they do.
It's great.
He earned a couple bucks.
He did. We let him keep the tips.
Yes.
It was great for old
just
Trey.
The tips.
Just a tip.
So today, on the heels of the Masters tournament, Trey called Augusta National. And for those who do not know, Augusta National is the most highfalutin, well-heeled, incredible, air quotes, club there is in the United States of America and maybe the damn world.
It screams cray tray.
Yeah. No one knows how to get in there. Nobody knows how to get tickets to the actual tournament. Membership, it's just...
You're lucky if you ever lay eyes on the place.
Yes, Augusta finds you.
Yes.
You don't find it. If it wants you, it finds you.
They have turned down so many people, so many incredibly wealthy, famous people for membership. The only locals that I know that are members here, Tom Hicks is... How he got in, I'm not sure, but I've heard stories. Madonna and Brett Hull have gone down there and played with him at Augusta, and it takes that kind of money and that kind of prestige.
They smile on the shyster.
They kind of do. So he was a member. So Cray Tray called, and all he wanted to know was, could he get a tee time?
Yeah, can I play?
Yes. And... Again, it's Augusta National. You don't just go play. This is not Tennyson Highlands. This is Augusta National. So
when did they add Highlands into that?
They redid it a few years ago.
So it's now Tennyson Highlands?
Well, one course is the Highlands course.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it is the refurbished course. It's nice. So here he is. Here is Cray Tray calling Augusta National trying to book a tee time.
Good afternoon, Augusta National Golf Club.
Hi, my name is Trey Mitchell. I just moved to Atlanta, and I saw your tournament on TV last week, and I thought your courses were really nice. They're really pretty, and I was seeing if I couldn't schedule a tee time for 4.
For 4?
Yeah, foursome.
For 4.
I was seeing if I couldn't schedule a tee time for 4. Preferably morning.
Oh, he's making requests now.
Before lunch.
Yeah, I'm a busy businessman.
Preferably morning.
I'm sorry, it's a private club.
Well, how about just play the back 9 if possible? Preferably, the back 13 looked really cool. I really, I saw it on TV. I thought it'd be a cool course to play.
Does this happen out there? Do they get phone calls like this?
I bet, we should just listen to it all, but I bet this girl's job is to field similar phone calls to this. You just tell me no one calls that place either doing bits or with the dumbest questions ever?
And she is the screener, and 99% of phone calls don't go past her.
Right, and her job is to filter all this BS out and stick to the script, which you'll hear she does.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's a private club.
So, I guess then how do I get a membership?
I'm sorry, it's by invitation only by a member.
There should be some, some kind of, way. Okay, we'll discuss it later, I guess. When I'm a member.
When I'm a member.
Skip over it.
We'll discuss it later.
There is no doubt that I'm going to be a member.
Yes.
So
let's clear a few things up.
And when I am,
he has been totally shut down by her. But we'll discuss it later when I am a member.
Moving forward.
I guess when I'm a member, can what's the dress code there? Do I need to wear a polo? Do I need to wear, can I wear jeans?
That information is not disclosed.
Okay. Do you have any Twilight specials by any chance? I mean, I could just do a single.
Do you know what that is, Mike? A Twilight special?
Where you play like when the sun's going down?
Yeah, the sun's going down, and typically public courses will knock their fee down from 60 to 28 or something if you can squeeze in 18.
Till dark.
So here are all these people, just imagine, lined up on down Magnolia Lane at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon waiting to get a Twilight time at Augusta.
Specials by any chance? I mean, I could just do a single. I don't need to have I don't need to have a foursome. I could just do a single. I mean, if it's BYOB, I don't even need
Why would that factor into anything? If it's BYOB, I'm okay.
He's
Because
still
my other
fine.
friends are bringing beer or what?
Yeah. He's good with it if the rules are BYOB. He'd still like it, the one.
Oh, God.
I mean, if it's BYOB, I don't even need to bring the beer, or anything. I just.
I'm sorry, it's a private club. Is there anything else?
Well, just more information, I guess, on how to become a member.
Yeah, that information is not disclosed.
Okay. Well.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Boy, talk about staying on point.
You know what?
Dude.
This woman is incredibly sweet, clearly. Mm-hmm. So, you can only be a member if another member invites you or refers you, correct?
Yeah.
Now, once you win the Masters, you're automatically a member. You are, okay?
Yeah.
So, why not call back and say that you've been referred by a member?
Good afternoon, Augusta National Golf Club.
Hello, my name is Chip Mulligan III, and I was recently invited by one of your members to be a member of your golf club. I was seeing what I need to go further to become a member and what my locker number would be.
Chip Mulligan III.
So,
What number?
again, presumptuous enough to think that this is all it takes. And by the way, what's my locker number going to be? This is it's just like a 5-second phone call to become a member at Augusta.
What's my locker going to be?
You like the Cray Tray fake voice?
Number would be.
Just a moment.
Thank you.
I swear she's laughing.
Yes, sir. And who were you invited by?
Jose Maria Olazabal.
Okay. And what?
No doubt. She's got to be laughing at this.
Jose Maria Olazabal.
He's clearly reading it. Like,
Yeah,
he
didn't
wrote
know,
it phonetically.
He didn't know who that was. So Soroyana had him write it out. Jose Maria Olath.
Okay. And when did he invite you?
He invited me about a week ago.
Okay. Well, you would need to speak with someone else about that.
Well, then can I please talk to the head of the pro shop, if possible? I mean,
Not the head pro, the head of the pro shop. Clearly, Cray Tray does not play golf. Yeah.
Gay Brewer told me that I could.
Okay, wait. Back that up.
Gay Brewer.
Are you gay?
Gay Brewer won this thing when in 68, 69?
Yeah.
Okay. For those who don't remember, Gay Brewer.
He was a local guy, too, wasn't he?
Gay? I don't think so. I don't think Gay's from around
He
here.
was, man.
Maybe so.
Then can I please talk to the head of the pro shop, if possible? I mean, Gay Brewer told me that I could just call you guys directly, and we could get it set up. Just maybe a fax.
Fax!
Okay. And what's your name?
My name is Chip Mulligan III.
Hold on one moment.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You would have to be invited by one of our members here.
But I was. Jose Maria Olazabal invited me.
Okay. And what information did he give you when he invited you?
He just told me to call this number, and I should.
Just call Augusta. That's all you got to do. Just call it, Chip. You just call the front desk at Augusta, and they'll hook you up.
He just told me to call this number, and I should, talk to you guys, and you guys would send the information over to my estate.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. He's not one of our members.
He assured me he was.
No, sir.
Well, I'm clearly getting nowhere. Can I please talk to the head pro?
I'm sorry. You'd have to be invited by one of our members to join here.
But Jose Maria Otavo, he told me he was a member.
No, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. She's so nice.
Yep.
She's so incredibly sweet, and she basically just brushes him off after that, but...
She has to stay on point because she's afraid Hootie Johnson's sending people at her to see if she messes around. She's got to be as good or bad as the person calling. She's got to stay on point.
Yeah, she did a great job too. What a sweetheart!
She was so sweet. We didn't call her the third time and pretend we were an irate Jose Maria Olazabal.
I understand that you have declined my friend Chip Mulligan III. I am one of you. That was phone call number 3, but we didn't think that Cray Trey could pull off the accent. The third one. The second one was so convincing.
Yes.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
I'm Chip Mulligan III.
Well, there you go.
That's pretty good work by him.
We're going to get on that course, Corby.
Showing usefulness.
Someday.
One way or another.
Someday we will play that course. What if she would have said, well, I have an 8:08 open in the morning? Dude, I'm like, yes, we would be there.
8:08 tomorrow morning. Yes.
Yes.
Find a way right now.
No doubt.
Dude, yes.
Maybe Gabe Brewer can help.